Hey, Cody.
What's up, guys?
Congrats on the win. Talk to me about the exchange there where you both lost your mouthpieces.
Oh, we both lost our mouthpiece? We both lost our mouthpiece?
Is that not what happened?
I just know I lost mine. He lost his too?
When he stopped,
Hell yeah. I thought I was the only one rocking out there. Okay.
All right, so we cleared that up. So yeah, it looked after that after you both lost your mouthpieces, it did kind of look like the momentum had kind of swung in Julian's favor, but then you were able to get your mouthpiece back in that exchange, obviously, where you were able to get the finish. Did you think that he had the momentum? What was going through your head after when Mark Smith stopped the fight there?
Yeah, I didn't think anything, man. I just reacted, and I just knew I wasn't going to quit. I told you guys on Wednesday the narrative might be that, hey, man, Cody breaks and Cody quits, and he has all the skills in the world. He's so talented, but he just can't get there mentally. And I just that wasn't an option. You know, I was going to go face down, ass up if I had to, and I don't think anyone can do that to me. And so I just have to hold on to that belief and faith. And, you know, like my boy DJ says, short-term memory, bulletproof confidence. And so I was just ready to get back after it.
What's next for you after this? How active do you want to stay in 2025? Do you have any names in mind?
You know, I know some guys just got booked, so I don't really have any names. Some of the guys that got booked were on that list. I don't need to be like I was. I don't need to fight 6 times in 14 months. You know, if a good opportunity comes, hell yeah. But the first thing I'm going to do is just go home with my girls and my wife and just give them the time that they deserve because, man, I haven't been there like I need to be. And that's expected. My wife gets it. She's a gangster, but, you know, they deserve the world and they deserve the time. So that's what they're going to get. And then we'll figure it out. I have the best team in the world. I have the best people around me, Coach Mark, Dustin, Colin, Yusuf, like, my wife, my kids, man, I'm so blessed and fortunate, and I know that whatever we do next is going to be sweet. It's going to be awesome. You know, this life journey I'm on is amazing, and all week, one of my buddies was telling me all week, man, he said, life is for us, life is for us, life is for us, and that's just kind of been my mantra all week, and yeah, whatever's next, man, I'm not looking too far ahead. I'm just trying to enjoy this one.
Last one for me. You just mentioned your mental focus heading into this fight. Did your mental preparation change in this fight camp? Did you do anything different heading into this fight?
I just am at peace, man. I'm happy. I really am, and I've said that before to people, and I wasn't happy. And you got to fake it till you make it sometimes, but I'm truly in a good place, and I'm happy. And no matter what happened tonight, you know, it's easy to say I'm at peace after a win, but before I even went out there, I was like, dude, regardless of what happens, I'm good with it. I'm at such a good place in my life. I've been brought to such a good place in my life. I have the best. Man, I'm just lucky. I can't even really put it into words. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I have a lot of gratitude. And yeah, cherry on top to get the win and an awesome performance. But I'm in a good place, and when you're in a good place, I think you can achieve a lot of things.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you so much.
I know you had mentioned, you know, at media day, you know, you were dealing with all those things, and that time away allowed you to focus and kind of clear your head. And if you listen to the commentary tonight, you were moving like you had less of a load on you. It seemed like you were flowing a little bit different, and you didn't have any sort of self-doubt out there. Did you feel lighter out there in the cage?
Oh, there's always self-doubt, man, but I got so many people that believe in me, and so when you have that kind of belief behind you, it's hard to be denied. And so, yeah, like I said, man, I'm at peace. Y'all keep interviewing me. People are going to think I'm a big-ass baby and crying all the time, but fuck, man, it's just like I'm just happy, man. I think when you feel like you're going to lose your dream, it can be really tough, and to sort of kind of take your dream back is empowering, and it feels good, and I'm just in a really good place. And that was, you know, maybe that wasn't the fight I wanted. I wanted to go out there and be super smooth and take him out super slick, but I think that was the fight I needed.
Yep.
And it just feels really good.
You know, and you had mentioned that, you know, there were times when you thought you were almost done with it. You thought you were ready to walk away, and then you go out there and you put on a performance like that. Do you kind of pat yourself on the back that you stuck with it and that your team kind of brought you back from that funk? And then when you see that out there, what you did out there?
Yeah, no pat on my back, but everyone else deserves multiple pats, man, because I was done. I was not going to fight again. And literally before I walked out, I just thought about, you know, a conversation that me, my wife, my team, and my coaches had. We sat down together. She looked me in the face. She said, "You're a great fighter. You have all the skills in the world. If you want to do this, I want you to do this because you can, and you can be really successful." And I was like, man, I want to do this. And that's why I came back. And then to have that performance, yeah, it feels good. And they're all here. I got such good people here. We're going to celebrate. It's great, man. I'm in a really good spot.
Yeah. The hands look really good tonight. Did you have a game plan particularly, or did you just want to go out there and feel how it felt to get in there and moving again?
I didn't. I had a game plan. That was not it. I can tell you that. But shit, man. my coach told me, he said, there's 3 types of people. There's athletes, there's fighters, and there's martial artists. And I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't question myself if I'm a fighter. And I was like, man, I fall in the athlete category. I'm very athletic. I've done athletics my whole life. I think tonight I proved I'm a fighter too.
Yeah, I mean, you showed a lot of heart. I mean, if you doubt that you're a fighter now, I mean, I think that would be silly.
Thank you.
You had a lot of moments there afterwards. You and Julian kind of had some words and talked a little bit. Do you mind sharing anything? Was it just a matter of just reconnecting, or a lot of mutual respect, I imagine?
There's definitely a lot of mutual respect. I've shared tears, blood, sweat with that guy. We've been there for wins and losses. I wasn't going to tell you guys how good of friends we are, but we're pretty good friends, and so it's always tough to fight your friends. He understands his business. I understand his business. I think that was probably the best case scenario if you're going to fight your friends, to go throw down like that. And then afterwards, like many people have done in their life, not just in the UFC, you go fight your boys and then your boys afterwards. And that's kind of all it was. But, yeah, lots of love to him, lots of love to his team. I have a ton of respect for Crouch and those guys. I feel like Factory X is its own thing, right? I feel like we're one of one, but I think the next up would be MMA Lab and the way they carry themselves and the way they structure their thing. Crouch and my coach Mark are very similar. Every interaction I've had with him, tons of respect. So there's a lot of mutual respect on more than one level.
Yeah, and we couldn't see because the TV eventually cut off, but it looked like he had one glove off. We weren't quite sure if he set him down. If you didn't see that, I mean, but do you expect that you're going to see him fighting in the cage again?
No, I think Julian will be done. I think like we both, there was no bones, right? Like we both had our back against the wall. This fight was going to be in or out of the UFC. If I would have lost, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I wouldn't be fighting. I'm not going to try to come back on the regional scene. I am young. I'm 30, but I grew up in the UFC. So my record, it's hard to come back. I always tell these young kids on the regional scene, a win sets you back 3 losses. So to go back on the regional scene, be 10-7, I'm not a guy who wants to go win 8 fights in a row and then get back. I just don't. I don't have it in me. And when you're the UFC vet, everyone's headhunting you, right? Like you're getting every fight you have is a contender series fight because kids are trying to make their name off you. So to make that road back is super difficult. And Julian's, you add 4 years to that, And I just don't. Maybe he will. If he wants to, more power to him. A lot of us fight because that's how we feel alive. So if that's what he needs to do for himself, I support him. Hell yeah, do it. But I don't think he will. No.
And I know you mentioned you want to go back and spend some time with Amanda and the kids. So, I mean, how much time do you give yourself away from the game, and how much do you want to ride this momentum and get back in there? Because I'm sure this feeling feels great. I'm sure you feel reinvigorated to want to get back in there. But how much time do you give yourself before you head back into the training session?
Are you married?
No.
Yeah, well, you're asking the wrong guy. Go ask my wife. That's how much time I'm going to need.
She's the boss at the end of the day, right?
She is the boss, and she can fight. She got mean overhand, so I don't back talk.
I love it. Congrats on the win, man.
Thank you so much.
I think it's just because we talked on Wednesday and you were just so real with it. Everybody talks about keeping it real, but dude, you were keeping it 100. And it's a beautiful thing that you fought like a dog tonight and just destroyed this narrative of Cody quits. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much, man.
I know it's not a question. I'm just acknowledging you.
Thank you.
you
I appreciate you. And thanks, honestly, guys, thank you for giving me the platform to be real or put my story out there and have people realize, man, we're not just dumb jocks who go out and get punched in the head. We're a little bit of that, but we got real stories and people go through real shit. Everybody's life here isn't peaches and cream, and it's good to have empathy. I truly think people are probably doing their best, and sometimes it's not great. Sometimes it's not even good, but I think the more empathy we could have for one another, I just knocked a dude out in the first round, but it's good to have empathy. I think that's the biggest thing that we're missing, and I think you guys give us a good platform to kind of help people have that.
Last fight on the contract, co-main event, all the pressure in the world. This has to be like the highest of highs to deliver when you need it to with your back against the wall. But can you please, if you remember anything, walk me through that finish? I know you were hurt. I know he was hurt.
Yeah.
Y'all might have accidentally exchanged mouthpieces for crying out loud.
I came in with a super slick speed, kill him, touch him, don't get hit. But sometimes, fighting doesn't work out that way. I landed a hard knee. I landed a hard uppercut. I saw he was hurt. And then, I have good killer instinct. I think the stat was I'm like the 4th fastest finisher in middleweight or 4th shortest fight time. I think I lowered that fight time today. I like to get after it. So, I have to go back and watch the fight. I don't remember shit. I just remember we were getting after it. But it's good to come out on the good side of that for sure.
Let me do a follow-up because you mentioned that whole thing with being at UFC 300 and not being in the moment. Were you in the moment tonight?
Oh, 100%, man. It's the best I've ever felt. backstage, and I just attribute it to being at peace. I'm not worried about result. I'm not worried about what's next. I'm not worried about any of that. I'm just grateful and thankful that this is the life I get to live. I get to live it with my best friends, the best people around me, and there's a lot of people. We were talking. Dustin was telling me backstage. He's like, man, if you want the good shit, you got to go through some of the rough shit, right? Like you got to go through it to get to it, and that's just life. That's not fighting. That's life. So like to think like, man, there's gonna be some pain. There's gonna be some adversity. That's all of life. If you work a 9 to 5, if you work in a cubicle, if you work driving trucks, whatever you're doing, that's life. And the better you can embrace that, the better you're gonna be. So Dustin told me that backstage. I'm like, you're damn right, and that's the best part about this. So I think just being at peace is a good feeling, and truly meaning that. There's times when I've said that, and like I said, you got to fake it to make it sometimes. But I truly felt it tonight.
Last for me, you're in Vegas, got the team, got the fam, everybody. I don't know if that's a fight of the night. I don't know if that's a knockout of the night. That might be a 50K type of performance. K for your daughter, of course. What do you do with 50 bands?
Once again, you're asking the wrong person. My wife is to your left.
Amanda here.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna get an M for my other daughter, so she doesn't feel left out.
That'd be kind of fire, though.
Huh?
That'd be kind of fire, though.
My man, appreciate you.
Congrats, sir.
Thank you so much. You guys good? Let's go. Thanks, guys.